KCTK Radio proudly presents Amy's Appetite KC.
Welcome. We're back. All right. Welcome to Amy's Appetite KC, a weekly discussion about the latest in good food in the Kansas City area. Amy will guide you about the new and old restaurants that you can enjoy and much more. If you want to give us a call, you're welcome to give us a call at 913-735-0060. Now, here's your host, Amy Keys. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Paul. So good to see you and hear from you again.
Okay, get your microphone like that.
We have taken a break.
Yeah, we're talking right here.
I know. Maybe I need to be taller.
You've
moved things around on me.
Yeah, and we'll get the camera going. We're on Facebook Live now for KCTK Radio. Probably on my thing too. But let's see here. So, welcome.
Welcome. Hi. Are we not hearing me?
Yeah, you want to hear you better. There you go.
Is that better? I think somebody taller than me has been sitting in this chair.
Well, that's not good.
Because I need to sit on my feet.
Yeah. You can move it down too a little bit too. So, yeah, we've had some. I don't know if you can tell, we've had a little bit of improvements here in the KCTK radio studio.
I know. Every time I come, something changes.
Yeah.
And I guess when we take a month-long break, then
Yeah.
things happen.
So, you have been busy being
a band mom.
Now, how did the band season go?
The band season went really well. We had some of our best scores and best awards that Blue Spring South Band has had. So, but yeah, no, it was a good band season.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was good. So, I would like to say that it's over, and I'm excited about that. But as it turns out, we're doing winter band now. So.
Now, what's winter band?
Winter percussion. So, it is a competition season, just like regular marching band season, except it's just percussion. And but they do some traveling and some competing, and super excited about it. Although we stay fairly close, Springfield, St. Louis, Columbia, things like that. So we'll be close to home. So
good.
Yeah.
Good. Welcome back. Now, how is the Facebook page been going?
Oh, well, just like the radio show, it's been a little quiet. I've been a little quiet. I have kind of taken a little hiatus from all things food for a little bit, but ready to be back at it. Yeah.
You have some restaurants that you already put on Facebook that you want to talk about them, right?
Right. Yep. We've got some restaurants to talk about. Okay. Sure.
I can't wait to hear.
You might have some too. You've done a little bit of traveling. I heard you took a killer trip to Chicago.
Well, Chicago's a great food trip because you are eating pizza. We went to a great brunch place.
Which is your favorite thing?
My favorite thing
ever is the brunch thing.
That's right.
So.
And yeah, so we had a nice drive to Chicago, and so that was good food. But it's not Kansas City food, and that's really what we're here to talk about.
That's right.
So what do you got for us tonight?
Well, over the last month, I've probably eaten at several places, but I just kind of picked a few, because we don't have a lot of time, but a few that I wanted to talk about. And one is the Shaka Noodle Shack,
Shaka Noodle Shack.
Shaka Noodle Shack. So if you go to my Facebook page, it is it's a noodle shop in North Kansas City. Mm-hmm. Right there on Armour Boulevard. And, I don't know how much you know about North Kansas City, but, there's kind of a little area down there that really is kind of, I guess, the downtown of North Kansas City. And it's really, they've got a couple of breweries there now. They've got this place, which I didn't even put on my list to talk about, and I did go to during our hiatus, which is called Chicken and Pickle, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
My wife went there, and she loved it.
It's so cool. It is such a cool place.
Oh, by the way.
Yes.
Happy Pickle Day. Today is National Pickle Day.
It's National Pickle Day and National Guacamole
That's
Day.
right.
You are one step ahead of me today.
right.
Look at you
That's
go,
right.
doing your research and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. So chicken and pickle. I don't know if they're talking about the vegetable pickle, but they're talking about the game pickle.
They're talking about the game pickle, right? So, but it is interesting because it's chicken and pickle, so it's the game pickle, which so when we decided to go, what we didn't know is that you really need to reserve a place to play the pickleball ahead of time. So we didn't get to play while we were there, but we did get to eat the chicken because that really is chicken is like all they serve. But damn, it's good.
Is it really good?
It's really delicious. Yeah, it is. And it's actually been probably a month since I've been there. So, but man, it is like they know how to do. It's like rotisserie chicken and then chicken wings. And they have only like a limited few different flavors that they do each of these in.
Figured that out.
And you got that.
Yeah.
I sound so much better now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I got my radio voice back.
Right, there you go.
So anyway,
but that wasn't even but we bring up chicken and pickle because that is one of the places that is downtown near the Shaka
Noodle Shack.
So tell us about that.
Well, so anyway, so this space is really, really small in terms of like from a seating perspective, but it is a noodle shop. So there is, oh gosh, I'm not gonna be able to say the name off the top of my head, but there's sort of like this Hawaiian wrap place. I think we've talked about it on the show before, and I learned about the Shaka Noodle Shack from their Facebook page, and really sort of noodles what they do. And so immediately you're thinking, okay, noodles, so it's Asian inspired.
Yes.
And I think it is Asian inspired.
Okay.
But they have all these different noodle dishes that are pasta dishes, and it's just all different kinds of noodles. So if you just think about noodles in general, it's not just an Asian thing at all.
There's the chain noodles.
Well, right.
Is that kind of
let's
the same
deviate from the
But this is the same thing where you go in and, hey, I like this type of noodle, and then this type of sauce on top of it.
It is. And I mean, to get like a really good perspective, if you go to their Facebook page, and actually it's Noodle Shack KC is, or actually it's just Noodle Shack is their Facebook page, at Noodle KC is their Facebook page. If you go there, you can get some really good photos and a better idea of what it is that they do. But it's like you can get like a Thai inspired or a Vietnamese inspired. But then, like they've got a dish, and I'm going to have to take a few seconds to look at here. But they've got a noodle dish called the Ray Liotta. I mean, and I like some fun stuff like that. So, and here's the thing that just blew me away about it is their price point. I mean, it's like there's nothing on their menu that's more than $6 or $7, which you don't find that anywhere. I mean, you talk about fast casual, and I guess that's what you're looking at here.
So the Ray Liotta, and if you're watching on Facebook Live, you can see it is short beef rib and mushroom marinara sauce over pasta, topped with aged cheese. So very unique, very different. I like that.
Right, but what's cool is that you're getting that in the same place that, like, for somebody me that really likes more of the ethnic cuisine, I can get, I mean, you can read off. You were able to put up that menu much quicker than I was, so you can kind of grab a couple of other things from there, because I really do want to highlight and accentuate some of the things that they have there, because it is a really interesting, different kind of menu, and not really, I mean, just based on, like, looking at their page and the logo and the name of it's not necessarily what you would expect. But I'll tell you, and I think they've only been open a couple of months, and the day that I decided to go in at lunchtime, middle of the week, it was, and 11:45 I get there, and this place is like jam-packed, like crazy busy, very busy. Like, I think they have a huge following already. The service was incredible, and it's like they'll talk you through the menu if you're not sure what you're trying to do or what you're looking for, and kind of help you out with that. So
what did you get when you went there?
I was trying to get that. How did you get that menu up so fast, Paul? I was trying to get it up so I could remember, because I can't off the top of my head remember the name of it. As soon as I see it, I'll know it. And I'll tell you, I did one of the more Asian-inspired noodle choices. Where'd you find that menu, kid?
It's a picture on their Facebook page.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I chose, and when I chose it was just because it I had seen on their Facebook page, and likewise that it was like a popular choice, and so that seemed to make sense for me to go with that.
What was in the meal?
Well, it was noodles, and there were vegetables, and then it was like an Asian-inspired like sauce, and then they have something called the Shaka toppings. I don't know what that is, but there was all kinds of. Well, when I say I don't know what it is, I still don't. But it's like all these little crunchy toppings that go like over the top that were just absolutely delicious. I can't. I'm just feeling really unprepared right now because I can't find that. I had that menu pulled up earlier today too, and I want to see it because then I can.
Let's go through what some of them are. I mean, you have the Thai kick noodles and meatballs, Wu Tang noodles, dim sum noodles, Bollywood.
Bollywood, that's what I had. Read that. That's what I had. The Bollywood noodles.
Chicken
so it's
and
curry.
Chicken and tofu.
Yeah, it's got chicken, it's got tofu, and and we've talked about this before.
Vegetables.
Right. So we've talked about this before, is that I'm a meat eater. Everybody knows this about me. But in the right application, I love tofu, and this was one of those that if you didn't know what tofu was, even, and these little because they're sort of almost like fried and crispy.
Oh, yum.
You wouldn't even
Yeah,
it was tofu.
Are they kind of square?
They're
like
little
cubes?
tiny square cubes, and you wouldn't. So if somebody goes, "Oh God, no, I'm not ordering that because I don't like tofu," you wouldn't even know it was tofu, and they were flavored so well. It was just it was so good.
Is that a real spicy dish, or is that?
No, it wasn't super spicy. No, and I mean my tolerance for spice is pretty high, so maybe I'm not always the best gauge, but no, it wasn't super spicy dish at all. No.
Well, how would you tell me what the setup is when you go in? You go to the counter and grab your food and sit down.
Yeah. So you walk in, and like I said, they have another extra, like a dining room over to the side that you can't really see when you walk in the door. There's just a few tables, but yeah, you walk up to the counter, you order your food, they ask you your name, and then you go sit and you wait, and then they call your name, and you come up and pick it up. Even if you're eating in, they'll call your name, you can grab it, and then you're just going to go sit down and eat it. So, and then, they have all if you want a fork, grab a fork. If you want chopsticks, grab a chopstick, and some like sauces and stuff. And same with the drinks is that they're over to the side, grab them yourself. Like, so I guess it's like what you call fast casual. Fast casual. Yeah. And, very cool decor inside. It's really neat little place. Yeah.
What was cool about it? Was it,
so it's decorated.
They have this.
Yeah. What do they call it? Hang loose?
Hang 10?
Or is that hang 10 or hang loose? I don't know. Gosh, maybe we should know more about the surfing culture, because I think that's what it's based off. But that's kind of the decor and kind of the vibe that you get there. Is this like kind of cool Hawaiian, California vibe? Yeah, really, really, really neat. And everything just tasted really fresh, and like just the vegetables were fresh and crisp, and just clearly cut and tended to that day, and a lot of people in the kitchen, man. I mean, they were really working it, and they were working hard. But with that kind of crowd, they're gonna, they have to. I can't, for as little short time as they've been open and as popular as it is. I mean, they've got it going on there. So Longboards was the place I was mentioning. We had talked about it, which is a kind of a Hawaiian fast casual, and Longboards is a place that I really like, and we've talked about it before. But I was looking at Longboard's Facebook page one day, and they had mentioned the Shaka Noodle Shack. So I don't know if it's the same family, if they're related, or if they just support each other. But if you've been to Longboards, I would say that's probably a good sort of opening to want to get you in the door of the Shaka. I hope I'm saying it right. Shaka. That's probably like a
Shaka.
Maybe I should look it up.
Maybe that's part of the hang loose thing.
That's probably like some kind of like surfing term or something, and I should have done.
So did you go there lunch, dinner?
Lunch, yeah.
How much would it cost for a typical lunch there, you think? Price point.
$7.
Wow.
I mean, it's like,
wow.
Yeah. Like if you pull that menu back up and you look at the prices, I mean, that's what's shocking about it, is that the prices are just so reasonable.
So I could go get myself a Ray Liotta.
Like, what are you getting?
$6.95.
$6.95.
Yeah.
Right. So, and here's the thing is you're talking about like whatever noodle dish it is, you're looking at some kind of pasta, right? So it's filling. And I couldn't eat all mine at my one sitting. Now, I suppose some other people could, but
let's do this real quick. Let everyone see.
Can you throw that up there and let everybody take a look at
what happened to the Ray Liotta I just had? hopefully they're getting so busy on their site here that
I know. Actually, the time that I went, they didn't. There was not a lot on their Facebook.
Look at that. It look like a little Italian pasta with the short ribs and everything in there. That's the Ray Liotta right there. You must be quite proud of that.
Yeah, that looks yummy too. So, but what's great about that though, Paul, is that you could take a group of people there, and everybody's going to find something that they want.
Mm-hmm. How about this picture of this nice man here? Get smoothies. Do they have smoothies?
They do. They have smoothies. I mean, I'm not a big smoothie fan, but I think that is kind of a popular thing that they do. So
again, that's another California thing as well.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Or I don't know, or Hawaiian.
Or Hawaiian,
they do dumplings too, like the Chinese type dumplings, so and then look, if you're taking your kid and they're like, ew, I don't eat all that, you can get a hot dog.
Good.
I mean, that's the thing. They got a hot dog on the menu, so if it's somebody. So, and I'm noticing here too, they've got a Filipino style burrito with garlic fried rice with an over easy egg. They've got some lo mein, like a lo mein burrito, so something kind of different there. And then, just like in some of these dishes, or a lot of them, you can choose the kind of meat that you want. And I think because everything's made to order, if there's something in that particular dish that it's not something you like or you want, you can switch it up or pull it out, or because they make everything fresh to order. So,
all right, it's the let's make sure we say it right this time. Shaka Noodle Shack. And where is that located?
And that is at 414 Armour Boulevard. And I will say this, I know downtown, that sort of, I don't know if you call it downtown, that North Kansas City area there in Armour, I know it pretty well. Mm-hmm. I missed it a couple times. So there's a lot of little shops there, but they have some signage. But 414 Armour Boulevard, use your GPS. You can get there.
Is there something that it's maybe by...
there's just a lot of little shops right there in that. Do you know there's a First Watch?
Yes.
It's across the street.
Okay.
On the other side.
Yeah. So the theater's near there.
Yes.
The great... the
Lamond Bakery that we've talked about.
Right.
Yep. Did you ever make it there?
I haven't made it there yet, but man, I may want to move to North Kansas City with all the great places.
They just keep doing so much in North Kansas City. I know. Like I said, they've got a couple of breweries, and but this place... absolutely worth the trip. I'm excited to go back and eat there again. They have so many choices. I mean, because
it's a winner.
That's right. It is a winner, and I want to go back. I'd be willing to go back and try a Italian style pasta dish and see what that's like compared to the others. But it absolutely was fantastic.
Well, that is the Shaka
Noodle Shack. And if they're listening tonight, because they did comment on the Facebook page today, they were excited that we were going to talk about them today. And so if they're listening and we've not pronounced that right, please correct us and we will fix it next week.
We sure will. And we'll also tell everyone to go there as well. So we kind of got a rough start here going, but we got the microphone going.
We got everything worked out.
We got things rolling.
That's what we get for taking a break.
Got a great restaurant. And that is great. Amy's Appetite KC. Feel free to give us a call at that number again, 913-735-0060. And we're going to take a quick break. Here we go. Okay. I want to talk about the California Taco Shop. The California Taco Shop is right on 40 Highway and Little Blue Parkway. It's a delicious Mexican restaurant with that California flair. I don't know. Have you been there yet, Amy?
I have not been, and I've been dying to go there. Dying.
It's good. It's a fast food place. You can look all over for the reviews. They have delicious tacos, tortillas, rice and beans. They're saying this is good as when you're in California, but they also have breakfast. And they have delicious breakfast sandwiches that are, Mexican, California inspired. They even have pancakes, which are fabulous. And when you go there, you get one and only one refill of coffee when you go there. So I want everyone to go to the California Taco Shop, Little Blue and 40 Highway. It's a little out of the way. It's right next to Popeye's Chicken. But you're going to be happy that you get this unique place right here in Kansas City.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes two. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in.
Okay, we
Say
can't
cheese.
talk about cafe.
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Timmy. I've always wanted to be a postman, and Jobs for Teams have helped my dream job become reality. They've placed me on an apprenticeship, which means I get my very own miniature post route. It's not that far. I go left at the top of the road, right by the park, straight past the school, and take the second road on the...
I bet you didn't see that coming. Neither did Timmy. Every year, thousands of teenagers are at risk whilst they are on the road. Don't let it be you. Stop, look, and listen.
KCTK Radio proudly presents Amy's Appetite.
This is not good.
And welcome back to Amy's Appetite KC. And wow, we're having a lot of fun. We're back, and one of the next restaurants that we were going to talk about was Casa Latina Restaurant. Is that right?
Yeah, the Casa Latina Restaurant in Shawnee.
Okay.
A place that I accidentally stumbled upon after a shopping trip at IKEA.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So you know how you do the your Google Maps or whatever, and you go restaurants near me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you want to try something different. So the Casa Latina was a place that a friend of mine and I, Teresa of Poppy's Ice Cream.
Oh, nice.
We were at IKEA, and then we stumbled upon this place, and we went there, and the food was fantastic. And here's the thing, is that because I have been so lackadaisical about my writing and my doing my reviews on the Amy's Appetite KC, where I really keep a really close track on every single thing that I ate, and it's been a couple of weeks, and so I was just gonna cheat and use their menu to share that, and I'm having a hard time finding their menu.
Well, here's their Facebook page. Maybe that will help us find a little bit. Help us find a little bit about what the atmosphere like. I mean, really the key here, I think, is to just kind of show everyone the great restaurant and all the different things. So where are they located? Maybe we start with that. They're over by IKEA?
Well, so they're in, I guess there again, as I seem to find, and you probably will agree with this, a lot of times when you find your great locally owned, operated restaurants, they're in the sort of downtown of some community, right? So this is what I guess would probably be the downtown of, it's like the old square of Shawnee.
Okay.
Yeah. Like the old square of Shawnee.
Yeah.
So which is kind of like when we were, just talking about the noodle shop. It's the same way. It's like the old sort of square of North Kansas City.
Right.
And this is like the old square of Shawnee, and that's where they're located. And so it is like a Latin American Peruvian restaurant. I don't know that I've ever eaten Peruvian food before, and I still don't know if I can tell you exactly what that means, except that it was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's go ahead.
Well, there's plenty of Mexican restaurants. There's even like Tex-Mex, or even, as I mentioned, California Mexican. But
Yeah.
I've only been to one of restaurants like this that is Latin American inspired. So it's a little different.
It is a little different. So for an appetizer, we had the mussels. So do you eat mussels?
I usually don't, but I mean, they can be
But
good.
you've seen them,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and usually mussels come out and they're like in a warm broth of like white wine, garlic, lemon, some herbs and spices, this kind of thing. Well, the mussels there, much to our surprise, came out and they were cold. Cold mussels
interesting.
but they had like, chopped scallions and cilantro and spicy peppers, like a really fine dice of those on top in a sauce. And so we were surprised by the fact that they were cold, because that's just not what we were expecting. But oh my goodness, learned something new. They were just fantastic.
Were they great?
So when you think about it, and it depends on like what you like to eat. So I eat raw oysters and I love them, and so I guess it's very similar to that.
Right.
And so not what I expected, but fantastic. So and not
What
you're right.
was the flavor like? Was there a certain type of sauce or spice on them?
Well,
that made them
yeah, I
different,
mean,
or-
well they were spicy and I don't know. It was different. I'll be honest. It was kind of different in a good way, though. But I wouldn't necessarily. I would call it spicy, but I wouldn't say that it was nothing Mexican tasting.
Gotcha.
No, like what we know as Mexican food.
Right.
Yeah, totally down a different route, and I would say elevated, an elevated flavor
Yeah.
from that. So I mean, the lemon and the garlic and the spices, just really, really, really good, and just a something a little bit different, like a cold mussel seafood.
Okay.
So
that was your appetizer. And I know you were trying to look at the menu to remember what you got. What other type of food did you notice? Whether you got it or not, I guess.
oh my god, there were so many things. So I actually, for an entree, I got a flatbread that had like a shredded beef on it that had been like long cooked in a probably, I guess, maybe what they would call maybe a Peruvian sauce, something different. And it was just really, really succulent and in spices and flavors that were new to me. So maybe that's why I'm stumbling over it a little bit, because they were flavors that were just completely new and different to me. So
Would it be? I know they're different. Are they sweet, spicy, salty? Spicy.
And
A different kind of spicy.
and savory, not sweet at all. No, spicy and savory. Yeah. So
That's up. That's it. That looks like.
yeah, one of the things that I didn't get. So we were walking out the door, and as we're leaving, they had this. We saw this plate of fried seafood that was. So listening to us on the radio, you can't see, but if you watch back on the video, you'll see my hands going like this ginormous
this
plate
here.
of fried seafood. And
Yeah.
it was like, it's just this ginormous plate of fried seafood. And I remember sort of seeing it on the menu. Clearly it was more than what we were looking for that day. But I mean, it's all different kinds of like tempura, lightly fried seafood, and then when you read through their food reviews, you find that's quite a popular option.
So, what's the atmosphere like?
Well, so we were there on a Sunday at, I don't know, middle of the like late afternoon, actually 2 or 3. So not a busy spot for any restaurant. It's really basic.
Okay.
As far as that goes, like tables, just basic tables and chairs. But it was busy. There were quite a few people in there. And so, I mean, I think it's a popular spot.
What is it? Is it a sit-down kind, a counter kind?
Yeah, sit down.
Okay.
You're going to go in, you're going to sit down, they're going to take your, the service, our server was incredible. And I asked a lot of questions, and he was on point with every, with answers. And so, but yeah, you're going to go and you're going to order your sit down, and they're going to bring your food to you. And the food is beautiful. And so tonight, after the show's over, I'll post all the photos that I have of the food, because the food looks like 5-star food all the time. It's gorgeous food.
How about the price? What would you how would you characterize that?
So interesting. They have things on the menu like a rape or some different like smaller items that are $5 or $6. But then they have some like things that are all the way up to $25. So they really cross every price point depending on what you're ordering.
So, you were there. You were there like a Sunday. How much would you say you got out of there with eating one person?
Actually, there were two of us, and we ordered 2 appetizers, and then actually, in some way, I guess maybe we ordered 4 appetizers because Teresa had ordered the empanadas, which are on the appetizer menu. And I ordered something that was not on the appetizer menu, but was probably like $7 or $8. But I'd say for the 4 appetizers and a couple of drinks, we got out of there for $35 or $40.
Nice.
Yeah. So completely reasonable. Now, having said that, if you take a look at their menu, you find that because they do have a lot of seafood options and braised beef options and some things that are a little more higher end. I mean, you can spend a lot more money there and have a little bit more, elevated meal for sure. You don't, but it depends on what you're looking for.
So you definitely would, if you're down there, if you're over there going to IKEA, or you're over there enjoying Old Shawnee.
I would say even if you're in Blue Springs and you're just looking for something different or something new, it's worth the drive. So once again, we've got a winner. But yeah, I mean, and I know that they have, they have drink specials during happy hour, and they do sangrias and some different things like that. So it's absolutely worth the trip. I absolutely want to go back and try some different things and explore their menu a lot more.
You want to maybe try something that you normally wouldn't have, or maybe not normally. You're adventurous.
I am.
You're good that way, but. It looks like this is a place that you should go with an open mind for some different type of
for sure.
Food.
And so when we think about like Latin food, for example, a lot of times people automatically go, oh, it's Mexican or whatever. Just don't expect that at all.
Okay, right.
But if you want, I mean, really, honestly, a good what looks like anything they bring to your table the presentation's gorgeous. I mean, the food is beautiful. So, and it tastes as good as it looks.
Taste as good as it looks. That's pretty good. That is a pretty good recommendation. Go over to Casa Latina Restaurant in Shawnee, Kansas. Enjoy yourself. Tell them now. Are they listening tonight? You think
they might be?
All right. That is wonderful. Now, it looks like we have one more restaurant that we want to talk about. You want to take a break real quick?
Yeah, we can take a break.
Okay, let's take a break real quick, and then we'll be back with more Amy's Appetite KC as we're trying to get back on the track and get you. Your diet's over, folks. Amy's Appetite KC is back, and we'll be right back after these words. We've been talking about a lot of delicious food, but you know what the ice cream at the end of your meal is? Yes, it's ice cream. It's dessert. And where you need to get some dessert is down at Poppy's Ice Cream. Poppy's Ice Cream is downtown Lee Summit. It's fresh, it's local. Ice cream is made in-house. They serve unique flavors. Lemon cookie, toasted marshmallow. Oh man, it is so good. And they've won awards for how great their ice cream is. They even have the Pitch's best ice cream in Kansas City. They have sorbets as well, coffee, Broadway coffee, chips, chocolate, all kinds of great stuff at Poppy's Ice Cream, downtown Lee Summit. Check them out because, there's nothing better than a great meal, except what's better is a great dessert at Poppy's.
Hi, I'm Timmy. I've always wanted to be a postman, and Jobs for Teams have helped my dream job become reality. They've placed me on an apprenticeship, which means I get my very own miniature post route. It's not that far. I go left at the top of the road, right by the park, straight past the school, and take the second road on the...
I bet you didn't see that coming. Neither did Timmy. Every year, thousands of teenagers are at risk whilst they are on the road. Don't let it be you. Stop, look, and listen.
Okay, Simon, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. And what do people normally wear?
Clothes.
Exactly. So now Mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Clothes keep us warm, they look good, and if we go out without them, the neighbors will talk. So it's important to know how to get dressed. Here's how it's done. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. If you're wearing a tie, it goes over, round, through, and pull tight. Tuck your shirt into your pants and zip up your fly. Socks going first, then shoes right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops. The rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears.
I love bunnies.
Good to know. Now remember, spots don't go with stripes, socks don't go with sandals, and if you've tucked in your shirt, wear a belt. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But spending just 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier and could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. For fun 2-minute videos to watch while brushing, visit 2min2x.org. That's 2min2x.org. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Amy's Appetite KC, the show that we broadcast live, and we also put it on podcast for you so you can listen to it later. So you're not, maybe when you're not as hungry, you should listen to this. But take notes, make sure you get to all these things. We're also on Facebook Live. Check us out at Amy's Appetite KC on Facebook. Amy puts all the stuff there, just so you know, and you can follow along as well. And so, Amy, 2 little spots so far that are kind of out of the way. Certainly not a big places, but you found them. You have a great talent for this.
Right, but that just takes a little bit of research. And the other thing is you just have to be open-minded to the idea of trying something new and different. We have so many great little locally owned and operated restaurants in Kansas City. And, I'm a big fan of, if you can, stay away from your whatever Applebee's and Denny's or I don't know. Right. I mean, all the spots. I mean, I really think that all you have to do is a little bit of research to figure out what's new, what's different, and the exciting places to go. So,
and maybe you enjoy those sometimes, but venture out. There's a lot of things, especially in our town now, and that's kind of what you're highlighting, and they're delicious places. All the time.
And it's just, I mean, that's been a thing of mine for years, is just kind of getting out there and seeing what's new and what's different. And the other thing is I just think it's important to always remember that it's folks like you and I that have decided to take their entire life savings and invest it in a restaurant. And I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, if it's not good, it's not good. And I mean, but most of the places, they typically, I mean, rarely do you have a completely bad experience at something. I always find it enjoyable. So
did you see this? This is I don't know if you saw this or not, but the Pitch magazine. It's called Housework: Why the Food Industry is So Hot in Kansas City. Let's use the camera. You're watching on Facebook Live.
Yeah, I know. I love the Pitch magazine. And I have to tell you, I think it's things like the Pitch and Feast magazine. And then there's a new thing called the Scout Guide is another one. We've got all these great publications. And I think that they have been a huge springboard for promoting local restaurants and really creating the food environment that we have today. I mean, we get a lot of publication, like media support for restaurants around Kansas City.
And so maybe sometimes you want to go to Chili's. We get it. But there's a thriving...
Wow. Like, I haven't seen you in over a month, and you still want to bring up the fact that I ate at Chili's in July.
I'm just saying, maybe it's okay sometimes to do that, but there's plenty... I mean, it's a growing plate. Make sure that you go out there and enjoy some locally owned... these little gems that we find. Now, do you have another one that you want to talk about? Or?
We can just sort of briefly talk about. I mean, this was just kind of a super random, but my sister and I wanted to get together for breakfast on Sunday morning. And so what I did is I went out, on Facebook, there's that wonderful page.
The food page.
Yeah, the KC Food Forum page on Facebook. And I'm telling you, it's the greatest website ever if you just want to know if you have a specific type of restaurant you're looking for. So this page, I think, who knows, last time I checked, have 15,000 members or something. Yeah. But and you can just say, hey, looking for this, looking for that, and then all the members who are super food passionate, they just kind of pipe up and they start mentioning different things. And I had gone out there on Saturday, and I
saw
said,
that. And you put any place but Big Biscuit and First Watch.
And for no other reason, I like Big Biscuit and First Watch.
Yeah.
Also, no, I like them.
If you got a problem with Big Biscuit, I mean,
no. So Biscuit.
But you want something different.
Big Biscuit is one of our really long-standing locally owned businesses, and it is fantastic, and I love it. The only reason that I said that
Try something
is because
different,
it's so easy to just go to First Watch or go to Big Biscuit, go to the places that know, and I just wanted a suggestion of something different. And having said that, then to narrow it down even further, I wanted to do it in a very specific
area of
town, right? Like I wanted, my sister lives in Independence. I'm in Blue Springs. So we wanted to kind of stay in that area. So I threw it out there, and we got lots of comments back about different places.
What were some of the places? Do you remember?
Well, I'd have to go back and take a look.
That's okay.
There were just a lot of places. But actually, here's the deal: is that most of them were places that I'd been, and Ginger's. We've talked about Ginger's. We know I love Ginger Sue's. They had mentioned Sinclair's, which we've talked about, which is a place I also love to go for brunch. They had mentioned Saints in Independence, which has a great brunch on Sundays.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you been to Saints for brunch?
I've never been there for brunch. I know I've been there before, but
you got to go to Saints for brunch. They have they actually have a fantastic brunch. But they were just all places I had been. And then one of the things that had been mentioned was this place called the Bean Counter Café.
Okay.
And I thought it was crazy because when they threw up the address, I'm like, man, that's like right down the street from my house.
Interesting.
Why do I not know about this place? And so I had seen that, and then my sister, she had texted me back and said, hey, somebody mentioned the Bean Counter. Let's give that a try. And I said, that's kind of what I was thinking. So she drove by the house, picked me up, and
What was she driving the van?
She was not driving the van.
All right.
I know. I missed out. I mean, really, we could have just had brunch in the van. I mean,
she drove me to brunch in Chicago in a van.
Yeah, I've heard.
But anyway. We does not digress.
I'm not as special as you, though. Clearly not.
Right.
So, but she came and grabbed me. But the thing about it is we have the address. We drive. So it's near 7 Highway and Colburn Road. So in between Blue Springs and Lee Summit and Pleasant Hill, kind of, there's this intersection. Are you familiar with Lake Lotawana?
Okay.
So so where 7 Highway and Colburn Road meets.
Okay.
So this is kind of the general
almost
area.
Almost Lake Lotawana, the butcher shop, and other places we love.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but the little red arrow comes up, and it's like, you're there, but we're looking around, we're like, well, there's an adult video shop over there, but I don't think that's it. There's kind of some other things, and so here's the deal. The Bean Counter Café is in, and I don't know if they call it Lead Bank or Lead Bank. Do you know?
Lead Bank.
Lead Bank. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the Bean Counter Café, there's a bank, the Lead Bank, and the Bean Counter Café is inside the bank. Like, it's like the bank, I guess, maybe is the upstairs part.
Interesting.
And the Bean Counter Café is downstairs.
Okay.
So it is. You cannot really see it from the side of the road. You just have to know you're there when you're there. But
they're open on Sunday?
But they are open on Sundays, and they seem to be kind of a popular spot.
Okay.
So they were quite busy. So here's the thing. They don't have a full kitchen. So you can't just go in and go, I want over easy eggs. That's not a thing. Like they have a menu, and but so they do soups, sandwiches, salads, quiches, and then frittata. Which when we said, well, we don't know what would you suggest? And she said, well, our ham and cheese frittata is our most popular item, and so I said, cool. If that's what everybody thinks is great, then or the ham and spinach Florentine frittata. And I have to tell you. So, do you eat quiche? Do you eat frittatas?
Love it, yes.
Both. I am telling you, this was so I'm the same way. I love baked egg dishes of any kind. This, no joke, was the best frittata I have ever eaten in my life.
Wow.
It was it melted in my mouth. I mean, and there were many more vegetables in it besides. There was the ham and spinach, but there were other vegetables, and there was real Parmesan cheese. Like you could actually get chunks of Parmesan cheese in there. And then it was great because with a frittata, what you want is the edge or the corner. Because unlike a quiche, a frittata is not doesn't have a crust, right? But if it's baked and the edges get nice and brown, it kind of makes its own crust. Yeah. So had this nice baked edge on the outside. It was a good, healthy size. It was $8.95. It came with a side of grapes. So I guess that's the fruit that they have. This is not the best fruit season in the world. Oh, you might have.
That looks like loaded baked. Oh, that's a soup. That's a baked potato
that is
soup.
not. No, that is not it. But so, and whether you show up at 6:30 in the morning or you show up at lunchtime, whether it's sandwich, soups, or salads, everything that's on their menu is available from when they open till when they close. So, yeah, and it's a walk up to the counter, order your food, go sit down, they'll bring it to you. Now, I will talk a little bit about the atmosphere because when you walk in the front door, there's a few little tables. There's some really great local art on the walls that's for sale. And that's cool, but that's not a lot of seating. So then they have this side area that you go sit in, extra seating, and it looks very much like a bank lunchroom.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so it's your basic 8-foot tables with chairs. It's got your everyday average corporate carpeting on the floor. Yeah. It's not the most welcoming environment.
Gotcha.
So that was disappointing to me because there was not a table in the little cafe area so we went over there, and so we were sitting there, but then I saw somebody in the little more cafe part get up, and I said to Christy, I said, hey, hold on a second, I'm going to go check this out. And so I ran over, and the guy had left, and I said, can we just go sit in there? Because that was more I'm having a breakfast with my sister, and I kind of wanted more that environment.
It seems like, and maybe I've never been there, but maybe it sounds like it's a business that has found a location and is trying to make it work, and maybe that extra room they're so popular that they have to use this extra room, and probably they sound so good that probably they'll have a huge place someday and say, remember when we were in the bank?
Yeah, I hope so, because I will tell you this, that if you have to use the restroom, you have to go out the door, and she's like, it's out the door and up the steps and to the you got to get your jog on to get to the bathroom because it's the bank's restroom, and it's upstairs. So so they've worked out a great little situation there. I do think, because based on the service, the coffee was delicious. I want
to ask you about that. What kind of coffee did you have?
Well, you know what? I'll tell you. I am. I'm decaffing these days.
Okay.
So I didn't get my normal, because normally I like my lattes and my flat whites, and
flat white's my drink too. I like that.
That is my fave. And but because I'm decaffing right now, I just had decaf coffee with cream, and when you get just their regular house coffee, it's in a container in a pump. You just go. They give you a cup and you go pump it yourself.
Good though.
But it was delicious. Yeah. And I don't know, because I was looking at their site to see what brand of coffee that they use, and it just I don't think they're saying what it is. It says, we can't say enough about our coffee beans. They're roasted fresh every week. Broadway Roasting Company. Here we are. So they're Broadway. So no wonder it was delicious, because I like Broadway coffee. Broadway's good. So the coffee was great. You could smell. So they do their baked goods there.
Okay.
And you walked in, and it was the smell of cinnamon rolls was like right in your face.
Oh, I'm just imagining if you're lucky enough to work in that bank, that you got the
the banking says cinnamon rolls, like you'd weigh 400 pounds.
You'd smell the cinnamon rolls all day long. It'd be great.
I think between smelling the quiches and the frittatas baking and the cinnamon rolls and the fresh coffee, I can't even imagine. Like if I was a customer there at that bank, I would just be like, I'll do business as soon as I get my cinnamon rolls. So.
And maybe we should all go to that bank now. Have a reason to go there.
Well, the bank was probably pretty smart letting a bakery and a coffee shop come in downstairs and let all the smells. So I don't know. Who knows if they'll ever leave? Because I will say this about it is that it was busy.
Really,
it was. Yeah, and so.
What about what time on a Sunday? You said, right?
So we were there on a Sunday 10.
Okay.
10. And like I said, all the little tables inside the front door were taken, and then and actually as we were leaving, more people were coming in. So and because they have that whole extra sort of what I would call a banquet room sort of that belongs to the bank. I mean, but the tables were filling up. So, and I mean, if you just like the things we didn't order, but if you look at their menu, I mean, they have a lot of really interesting. Oh, and they do cater. I did see they had a sign that says they do catering, but
so
I mean,
another really good place that is again kind of the theme is you're finding these out of the way places.
Right.
You know, I wouldn't look in North Kansas City, Old Shawnee.
I'm all
across
over
the street
place
from the adult magazine store in a bank.
I know. Well, you know.
Yeah. But so they probably don't do dinner, right?
No, they're just breakfast. They're just breakfast and lunch. Yeah, breakfast, lunch, and you know, and like I said, with coffee. But I'm telling you, I was thinking about like on a Sunday. I mean, for whatever reason, but if it's like you've had a few drinks the night before and you just want to go get some good breakfast, or even you'd prefer to have savory or lunch items at 7:00 in the morning, they're going to give it to, because everything that's on their menu is available from when they open until they close. So.
So again, that is the Bean Counter Café. It is the actual address is 9019 Southwest Missouri Highway 7, Blue Springs. Blue Springs, almost Lee Summit, almost Lake Lotawana.
Yeah,
so it's right in that little area there, which is becoming a quite the food area. Lotawana with the butcher shop.
They've got a lot going on there. And then actually right on that same corner. It hasn't opened yet, and I'm very interested to see, but there's a cool new spot. They just had the sign up. It's called the Martini Cafe.
Martini.
So they're going to have a martini bar right there too on that same corner at 7. And so I don't know, like that is just that intersection right there has been kind of desolate for a really long time. But Russo's Pizza's there. Russo's Pizza's been around Kansas City for a long time, and it's a big popular spot, and it's still there. But there were some other just different things that were in there that might have been a little shady that are going out of business, and some cool new stuff's coming in. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So again, the Bean Counter Cafe. So enjoy yourself there. We had some great places. What else? Anything else before we wrap it up here?
Well, you know, those were the restaurants that we had on the agenda to talk about. I mean, there's always so much more. We've got to, that we don't have to talk about it yet because I haven't eaten there. I don't know that you've eaten there. My sister and brother-in-law have eaten there. The Crab Kings, the new crab spot down on Broadway.
I'm going to try it out.
Man, like lines out the door. So. But I want to eat there before I talk about it. But I do want to mention that it's open. Crab King's on Broadway. If you're a seafood person, just go check that out online, because holy cow, that
looks great.
Oh yeah, that's what they call foodgasm. So excited about checking that place out next.
Well, make sure everyone you go to Amy's Appetite KC on Facebook, because you can really interact with Amy. Throw some suggestions that you want us to talk about or you think people should try. We're going to spread the word for them. And we thank you very much. I hope you're enjoying it. Listen to us next week, and also listen to us on the podcast, iTunes, Google Play, wherever you have that. And thank you so much, Amy.
Thank you, Paul.
And remember,
no 4-week break, and food is a journey. I had to throw that in there.
Yeah.
ACTK weather.
And here's the latest weather report. Sunny, chance of showers.
KCTK radio, personality-driven radio. Personality-driven radio. KCTK, Kansas City.
Oh, here we go.
KCTK Radio proudly presents the week review.
Hey, you know what, guys? This right here, this rambling, boring conversation containing already made before observations, this could be a podcast.
It's actually not a bad idea.
Really? A podcast? Don't you have to be some sort of whiz kid to do those?
Definitely not. Anyone with a computer can make one.
Well, that's it. We're anyone. Let's do a podcast from right here in the booth. Who's in?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it.
Is it happening? Are we doing it now? Awesome.
You're the reason that we do what we do.